Hello everyone, today we're going to be talking about AR-15 gas tubes as a fail-safe fail point, okay? So there's lots of videos floating around the internet where people basically do AR-15 burn downs, where they take an upper, different companies, they put them on a full auto lower, and they just do back-to-back mag dumps to see at what point the barrel will fail, okay? On average, it's somewhere around 500-600 rounds of doing back-to-back magazines. Like sometimes they'll use drums, basically continuous fire. Usually they'll get somewhere about 500 to 600 rounds. With the heavy barrels, they'll get up past 1,000 rounds. But usually, even with the heavy barrels, after 1,000 rounds, what will happen is that the barrel starts drooping, and as it droops, it creates an obstruction because now the bullet isn't going straight out, right? The barrel droops down, the bullet now goes down, so that creates an obstruction. The bullet gets stuck or slows down, so the next full auto round that's fired behind that, basically blows up the barrel, right? Because you're shooting one round into another round that's either stuck in the barrel or hasn't fully made its way out. Okay, but here's the thing with these barrels: if the barrel gets so hot that it starts drooping, okay, what should happen before that is the gas tube should basically melt down. Okay, now I've seen a couple of videos where what happens is as the barrel starts drooping, right, essentially the gas tube kind of falls out of position, and now the gas isn't coming back up. So that a lot of times will now basically the system isn't properly pressurized, so you can't do the full auto fire. So that's one thing I have seen, but the way it's supposed to work, or the way I think it should work, is that if the barrel gets red hot, okay, this piece of metal here that's attached to it that's much thinner, this should should fail before the barrel. Okay, that's how I think it should happen. That's how I would prefer it happen, right? I would prefer that this fail before the barrel blows up in my face. Now, I did try doing some research as to, I did try looking into this, and I'm not able to find any specific information as far as the original design, as far as is this something that Eugene Stoner intended, okay? As far as I can tell, the original gas tubes were made from stainless steel. So I don't know if over the years they've done something, they've made this stronger, because with a lot of these burn downs that I see, they actually get to the point where the barrel blows up. Okay, from the barrel droop, where they actually get to the point where the barrel blows up before the gas tube fails. Okay. So I don't know if over the years they've improved the quality of the gas tubes so that they don't properly fail. But again, I mean, I just was not able to find any information on that. If you guys out there are able to find any information on that, I would be very interested to know. 304 stainless steel seems to be what these are made from today. Okay. Now, as far as when I built this AR over here, okay, the gas tube that I put in here was the cheapest one I could find. I think it was like $7 from Palmetto. And the reason why I did that is, number one, it's not a full auto lower. Okay, I never shoot this to the point where it's so hot that I can't hold the rail. Okay, so maybe 3 or 4 magazine dumps is the most I've ever done, and at that point this is too hot to hold, and at that point I'm done shooting this gun. It's one of the reasons why I have multiple ARs. A lot of times if I'm training people, and we are actually doing a lot of shooting, I will rotate the guns, okay? So the guns get a chance to cool down, okay? So that's a big part of me prolonging the life of the guns. When they get too hot to hold, I switch them out, okay? So another reason why I didn't concern myself with, like when I build ARs, I never concern myself with getting the best gas tube that I can possibly get. I get the cheapest one that I get, and they all seem to work just fine. Now I don't know if the cheapest means that it would fail sooner, right? If this was, you know, if I was doing full auto mag dumps, does that what cheap mean? Or does cheap in this case mean that they use the material, you know, is the cheaper method here one that does not fail, right? Where instead of this failing, you would actually get to the point where the barrel would blow up. So I don't know in which direction cheaper goes here, right? Does that mean that you actually get a proper failure of the gas tube, or does it mean that you don't get a proper failure of the gas tube? Because when a lot of times when people are talking about gas tubes, they're like, oh, you know, I got this premium one that's like rated for like 1800 degrees Fahrenheit. I mean, does that make it better or does that make it worse? I think it makes it worse, because I would rather that this fail before this barrel blows up. Okay, so that's just my opinion on that. But again, I'm not doing full auto back-to-back bagged ups to the point where the gun is going to burn down. And if you are doing that, even if like you're not going that far, but if you do lots of mag dumps, like 3 to 4 round, 3 to 4 mags, and if you do it frequently, you may not blow up the gun, but you're definitely eating through the rifling of the barrel a lot sooner, right? Because heat is the killer of gun barrels. Okay, so if you run your barrel relatively cool, you can probably get up to about 22,000 rounds. Okay, if you're constantly heating it up with mag dumps, right? You may get 10,000 or 6,000, even as low as 6,000 rounds. Because I know that from what I heard, this goes years back, and we're talking about 10, 15 years back, maybe even 20 years back. Because I read this 10, 15 years back, but the information may have been 10 or 15 years older. From what I read, military M16 barrels that occasionally fire full auto were rated for like 6,000 rounds. Okay, so again, I think that has to do with the rate of fire. Okay, so just putting this out there, like I said, I tried to research this, like what makes a good gas tube. Is it one that fails sooner due to overheating, or is it one that like can get hotter because somebody decided that sounds better? I don't know the answer to that, so I'm just putting this out there for you guys to like keep in the back of your minds. If you come across the information, by all means post in the comments. But as far as me purchasing gas tubes, I definitely don't see a point to spending more than $7 on a gas tube. Because it's like, what am I trying to achieve, right? Am I trying to get something that would run even hotter? That's not what I want. Okay, so anyway, let me know what you guys think. I just wanted to kind of share this with you guys. I'm just kind of putting out there for you guys to brainstorm this over a little bit. Drop some comments. I'll talk to you all soon.